Let's talk Golden Globes right now. They're back tonight after taking a year off amid an ethics and diversity scandal. And let's talk live more about this right now with our film critic, Richard Crouse. Richard, good to be talking to you this afternoon. Glad to be doing this. It's interesting, right? In the years since the Golden Globes, the Hollywood Foreign Press say they've changed a lot. Does it seem, before we talk about the actual award show, that they've changed enough to sort of convince enough people to be back there, you know, at the tables, listening to the speeches and watching the awards be handed out?
Well, we'll see who shows up tonight to take the awards. We know for a fact that Brendan Fraser will not be there. The whole reason that Brendan Fraser apparently took, essentially a decade away from Hollywood was because of some unwanted advances of a sexual nature from the then president of the Hollywood Foreign Press. So we know he won't be there, but there has been an ever-increasing list of guests who have confirmed that they will be there. And, I think it's one of those things where you have Hollywood and awards mentioned in the same breath, and they just can't seem to stay away when people are handing out gold trophies to them. Yeah. So I imagine we'll see a pretty good turnout.
Okay,
here tonight.
So let's talk then, Richard, about that. Motion picture-wise, Avatar released very late last year, but still eligible up for a Golden Globe, but up against some tough competition. Elvis, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun. Do you have a prediction at this point? Where do you think things may go on this one?
Well, I think it's going to be Elvis. I think if I was one of the producers of the Elvis movie, I'd be having a pretty good day today, because I think they're going to take motion picture over Avatar and a number of others. I mean, I think back to when the Golden Globes really embraced Bohemian Rhapsody, a much different kind of movie, but another big music biography. The Golden Globes seem to like that big, glitzy insider's look at show business on the big screen, and that's why I think they're going to give Elvis their best picture in the drama category.
Okay, that'll be interesting to watch for. Of course, there's so many big movies this year. Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Glass Onion, which I just watched over the weekend. I really enjoyed that, as campy as it was. Triangle of Sadness. So you've kind of broken this down into the will win, could win, and should have been nominated. I love the way you've broken this down.
Yeah, well, I think The Banshees of Inisherin will win for Best Picture, Comedy, or Musical, although we could probably have a debate as to whether or not it is actually a comedy. It's funny at first, and then it takes a very dark corner, or it takes a dark turn. But I think that the main competition that movie has here is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is a movie that came out a little bit earlier in 2022, but has managed to stay consistent throughout award season, and with the critics, they're heaping awards on it, and I think Everything Everywhere All at Once could be the big spoiler here, although all the indicators seem to be pointed towards The Banshees of Inisherin. What I would have nominated, though, in this category is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Absolutely, I think hands down my favorite movie of last year. It's heartbreaking, it's heartwarming, it'll make you laugh and cry at the same time, and it should have been on this list.
Interesting. Okay, I'm going to have to check that one out. I always enjoy your recommendations, Richard. And of course, based on the last sort of two slates of films we've talked about, the directing category kind of really overlaps with that as well.
I think so. Baz Luhrmann, to me, seems like a lock for a director for the movie Elvis. He's up against some stiff competition, though. James Cameron for Avatar: The Way of Water, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Martin McDonagh, The Banshees of Inisherin, and of course, the big spoiler here could be Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans. But I do think that they will lean towards the Elvis movie, even though the Steven Spielberg movie is all about the love of movies and how movies can be transformational in your life. And the Golden Globes do tend to like that kind of messaging as well. But I think the Elvis movie is going to come out on top here.
Yeah, I was going to say, just based on absolutely what The Fabelmans all about, they may have a little edge there. But of course, we'll watch and see. But it's a good prediction for sure, Richard. In terms of the acting now, I mean, are you sort of going with Austin Butler with Elvis then, in terms of, are they going to make a big sweep here?
Yeah, I think so. For me, it's a toss of the coin in this category as to which way they'll go. But Austin Butler has a very good shot. His performance as Elvis Presley transcended just impersonation and really got into the under the skin of who Elvis really was. The musical numbers are great. He sang, he danced, he did it all, and played Elvis from a young man all the way through up to the Las Vegas years and up to the time of his passing. The big competition competition here, I think, is Brendan Fraser. Now, as I said, Brendan Fraser will not be there tonight. There is no way he will show up to get his Golden Globe, but he could be a spoiler here. His work in The Whale, playing a 600-pound man who's just desperately trying to reconnect with his daughter, not only earned him an extended ovation at the Venice Film Festival, but has gotten him accolades all the way through since the film festival season through to award season. So Brendan Fraser could be in for a big night here, although he'll be watching it from home, on the comfort of his own television.
Yeah, understandably so, indeed, in the circumstances. And let's just wrap it up here, Richard. When it comes to, we've talked about Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. Let's talk about the actress, because I look at the list of names on there. I mean, these are just some absolute heavy hitters, amazing actresses all among them.
Yeah, it's been an incredible year for performances all around. I think in this category, Cate Blanchett will take it for the movie Tar. Not as many people saw that film as saw Elvis, for instance, or some of the other films we've talked about here, but everyone talks about this performance. It is quite remarkable. She's up against, though, some real heavy hitters. Olivia Colman for The Empire of Light, Viola Davis for The Woman King, and Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans. But I think it's going to be Cate Blanchett. She's been winning everything all the way along in award season. All the critics guilds and all that sort of thing have been rewarding her, so look for her to be on that stage tonight. All
right, we'll be watching for that indeed, because of course then we've got to talk about the Oscars after that. In the meantime, it's been great to chat with you, Richard Crouse, film critic. Thanks for the time this afternoon. We'll talk soon.